Hello, this is my oral report on the coronavirus. I live in Shawnee, Kansas, which is in the northeastern part of the state, and it's about 20 minutes from downtown Kansas City, Missouri. So it's a pretty well-populated area, but also a fairly wealthy area. Currently in my county, there are only 318 positive cases and another 20 probable cases. There have been over around 3,000 tests completed in my area, and in my zip code, which is a more specific area of about 16,000 people, there are only 8 positive cases. This information is accurate up to today, the 14th of April. The greatest strategy that's being used to fight the coronavirus in my area is the state mandated stay-at-home order, and that's been in effect since the 28th of March. Other than that, the city isn't really doing anything, and we aren't receiving aid from other areas because there's plenty of hospital space in this area. So I think that compared to other places in the country, we're actually pretty well off in our ability to fight the virus and house patients who have their coronavirus. I would say about 3/4 of the time, people are following the guidelines put forth by the state. But there have been several times where, I've specifically seen people not following the guidelines put forth by the governor. For example, I was out on the tennis court the other day, and people were playing several courts of doubles, and obviously doubles is not very spaced away when you're high-fiving your partner and talking very closely to them, sometimes as far or as close as 6 or 7 inches away. So I would say that does not follow the guidelines and has potential risk if any of them were infected with the virus. And then another example, I live on a street with a lot of families that have younger children, and all of those children are still playing with each other, and oftentimes the parents are also with each other and standing in small circles. And I would say that, again, if any of them had the virus, there is potential for spreading since they were so close to each other. I would say that, like I said, there's a lot of hospitals in the area, and pretty large ones. So I would say that compared to other places, even in the state of Kansas, our county is pretty well off in fighting against the coronavirus. However, the Kansas Department of Health has not released where they are housing coronavirus patients or if the hospitals that they are sending those patients to are being filled or almost reaching capacity. So it's tough to tell. There are many reporters looking into it, but they haven't been able to find out the answers just yet. I would say that around the country there is a lack of supplies, but there are more here in this area of the state than there are in other places. The governor of Kansas has said that we are short on tests, but that's about the same everywhere in the country. And she also has requested aid from FEMA, and it has been reports that has not come yet. But currently we are not running low. Compared to the rest of the country, we're doing pretty well. There's not much happening in the community on really helping each other or trying to raise morale. A lot of businesses have been shutting their doors, and so it's making it tougher for those businesses to stay open. And many of them said that they're not opening their doors again. So I'd say, if anything, it's actually lowering morale, because these businesses and restaurants that everybody have been going to are now closing and may never open their doors again. But overall, I would say the response of the community has been pretty solid. Everyone who's been to the hospital with symptoms has been able to get in and get looked at. They all haven't been tested, but they are tracking people who would be probable cases, and those people are being given treatment to the best they can. I would say it's tough to tell, though, because like I said, our area is pretty well spread out, and people can stay in their houses and stay away from other people. So this would be a low-risk area. Like I said, there is a lack of tests, so if there's anything I could do to improve the situation in our community, it would be to get more tests for people here, even if they weren't necessarily positive, just so that they would know they don't have the coronavirus. But that is a shortage all over the country. So I think, since I live in a pretty low-risk area, that the test would be better off going somewhere else.